This is like a little like
Was
Easter
that
egg.
like Easter?
Yeah. But I think what was so amazing about Hannah and Paul's screenplay, it's very personal to them. Hannah's relationship to her mom is a lot like Cody's relationship to Kathy, and Dell's relationship to Cody is a lot like Paul's relationship to his dad. Um, and I could just see like that there's so much heart put into that. And they were doing things in the screenplay that I think as a writer I wouldn't have the guts to do. They wrote a 10-page monologue for Brian Dennehy, and like I would never have written that scene, but they did, and I'm so glad that they did because I got the opportunity to direct it.
I remember a scene that you said I would never have written this scene.
Which one? Oh God.
The bingo scene.
Oh yeah. Right. Yeah.
Where you and your son come to bingo night? That one?
Yeah, because what was your reason for because it took a long time to shoot and just having that many bodies to
Exactly.
choreograph and
Yeah, I mean, it's just there's so many people, there's so many characters, and Spotlight's like so intimate. But again, it's why I felt like I was growing as a filmmaker, by having this opportunity to direct something, written by two like super talented screenwriters, that didn't have to worry about directing it themselves. It's gonna be on my shoulders. But I responded to the script so kind of immediately that I wanted to do it.
Hong, what were your feelings about the script when you read it, and what was it that seduced you into doing this film?
I'm glad that Paul and Hannah are not here so that they're not offended by this. But honestly, I just wanted to work with Andrew. He could have brought me any script. It could have been a horror script, and I was like, oh, this is kind of weird, Andrew Ahn, but sure. I saw Spot Night in the theater when we first met for coffee about Driveways. He was surprised that I saw it in the movie theater, and I'm always watching smaller independent films. That's where my interests. Yeah, that's where my heart is, and so I was really excited after watching it because I felt like um, there was a definite author behind that film, and I was just really I just wanted to see what this guy did next. And so I was very pleasantly surprised when he reached out to me about Driveways. So I was very excited to meet him, and working with him was a great pleasure. And it's really difficult to work um, on things with a much smaller budget level, and to know that he has so much potential, and wanting him to be able to have more resources available to him to really, see him soar, to see him fly. So I was happy to and very eager to be any part of anything that Andrew Ahn was working on.
I will say that for me, you so completely disappeared into this part that after I initially watched it, I didn't realize that I had seen you already in so many things, and I was like, wait, Hong Chau from Watchmen, Hong Chau from Downsizing, Hong Chau, just because so many of your parts I think have been character parts, and this part was the part of a real person, like.
I personally feel like it's the greatest compliment to be called a character actor.
I do too. Holy
Those are
crap,
my
yeah.
favorite actors are the character actors. And honestly, a lot of times the supporting characters tend to be the juicier.
Yeah, those are the
that are more
parts.
fun to play than the actual leads, because there's a certain responsibility that lead characters have to take on, where they have to be either a proxy for the audience, or have a certain likability, or a quality that will just avail themselves to the broadest possible audience, and you don't have that sort of responsibility when you're a when you're a supporting supporting character, not necessarily the lead. So I never feel slighted or feel, wanting more or feeling like I didn't get to do what I wanted when I am playing supporting parts in larger things, in larger vehicles. Yeah,
I
getting back
actually
to
feel like
driveways.
I'm
Getting back to driveways.
I actually feel like in some ways it's more difficult to play this part that you did in Driveways. It's a different muscle as an actor, I
It
think.
is. It was for me. It was my first time playing a mother, so that was I had a little bit of trepidation in terms of how would I work with a young actor. I'd never worked with a child actor before, um, and also working with Brian Dennehy. They're on opposite ends of the age spectrum, and you really have to have an environment that really fosters and encourages and is kind to their different needs that they have. And I thought that Andrew was the perfect director for all of us in terms of being able to talk to little Lucas and also to Brian and being able to give each actor what they needed and to I just think that he's just, I mean, the things, that you had to work with and deal with, I just thought that he did it with such graciousness and kindness
I mean, I'll say this, like, all three of the actors were so generous, right? I could feel it on set, and I could also see it in the footage where, like, every scene that, Lucas was in with Hong, like, Lucas was better. Like, we could just see it. My editor, like, made this comment. She's like, Lucas is more grounded, is calmer when he's with Hong. And one of my favorite scenes in the film is when they're in the motel and Cody asks Kathy, like, oh, was something wrong with Auntie April? And it's just such a tender scene. And I just remember seeing the first cut of it being like, oh, like, they're both so good. And it's really, I think this is the mark of a great actor is that they make everyone else look really good too, you know? But yeah, like, I mean, it was such a challenge with, like having a kid who could only be on set for so long and Brian is older and like couldn't be standing, for like too long. He had to be like sitting, and we shot the first week of Driveways, without Hong because she was on another movie and like came right to us. And I remember when she showed up, we were so used to kind of like just being super careful with the actors because it's like Lucas is so young and Brian is older. I think one of the scenes we shot with Hong was like where she's like carrying a giant box and kind of moving out, moving April's stuff. And our production designer handed her kind of like an empty box, just to like kind of hold and pretend it's
said, could
empty.
you put more stuff in it?
And then Hong was like, put more stuff in it, like, and she was like, make me sweatier. I'm not dusty enough, and I was like, oh yeah. Like I was excited about that.
This isn't hard enough. Punish me. I thought Lucas was wonderful, and I was watching another child actor performance the other night that was really great, and I was like, this is really a year of great child performances because often I feel like children are miscast, and this kid seemed to fit so naturally with you and with Brian. I totally related to that relationship with Brian because my best friend when I was 6 was our 8-year-old neighbor Gladys and her orange cat Carrot. She was my BFF. I think in some ways, sometimes children and older people do have an easier time forming friendships somehow. That dynamic was interesting. The other thing I had in common with this is that there was also a family member of mine that was a hoarder, and it took 10 members of my family 2 weeks and 2 industrial size garbage. So when she had that industrial garbage thing, I was like, yeah, that's what it really takes to clean out a house like that.
Yeah. It's really fascinating to me as we've been screening the film at festivals, like what people connect to and resonate with. And I think there's something about the film being this coming of age film from the point of view of a young boy, this mother, and then this older man. Like I think it's really interesting